All right, today we are going to be making a rich, creamy chicken and wild rice soup. All right, well, thanks a lot for joining us again on It's Only Food after a long hiatus. I am back with season 4 and this is episode 1. We're going to be doing a creamy chicken and wild rice soup. Don't go away. Well, the first ingredient, of course, is going to be the chicken. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to season the chicken and drop it in some butter in the pan, let it brown off and cook. Then we're going to pull it out and set it aside. All right, now that we've got the chicken cooked off and pulled out of the pan, we're going to use the browned chicken bits that are in there with the butter, and we're going to add our mirepoix in there to brown that off too. And the reason you put a mirepoix in there is to enhance the flavor a little more, and it also gives it color and depth and some texture into your soup, stew, or anything you're making. We're going to use carrots, celery, and onions. We're going to dice those up. We're going to throw them right into that pan. Let them brown up a little bit to bring out those sugars when we caramelize them. Essentially, all foods have a bit of sugar in them. When heated up, these sugars tend to brown or caramelize. When you heat sugar alone to the point of liquefying, it takes on a brown or golden rich color. Now, if you ever work with wild rice, you'll know that it's a very, very easy rice to work with. You just put it right into follow the package directions, put it right into the water that's boiling, turn it down after you've stirred it once, put a lid on it, walk away from it for about an hour. It should be done by then. And once it busts out of its husk, you'll know that it's done. There you can cook it to the point where it's just about to burst. You can cook it to a halfway point, but once it busts out of its husk and it curls a little bit, you'll know it's done, as you see here. But different types of cooking for different types of dishes. I've seen people cook it to where it still stays in the husk. But you do want to have a little bit of a chewiness and a bite to it, but not mush. All right, we are at that point now where we can thicken the sauce. I'm just going to add some flour to make a roux to this. Equal parts flour, equal parts fat. In this case we're using butter and some of that fat from the chicken in there. So all you want to do is cook or incorporate these two together, kind of doing it backwards. All right, thicken this up, let it cook a little bit. As we see here, you want to make kind of a blonde roux. I have a video that I'm hopefully going to attach to this, a little card at the top. You'll see there on how to make a roux. So look for that. That will explain roux more. But right now we're going to add our heavy cream to it. And I'm also going to be adding a little bit of chicken stock, or chicken base I should say, to give it some savoriness and a little bit of a foundation. Not that it doesn't taste fantastic now. But we're going to just let this heat up now that we've got everything in it. And we've got a little bit of a combination between the two. We've got a bechamel and a Politte sauce going on here, which are two of the mother's sauces. A bechamel is a white cream sauce that's thickened with a roux or a liaison of flour and butter to thicken it. It's also a basis for such other sauces as Mornay cheese, etc. And a Politte sauce is chicken stock, veal stock, or any kind of stock base that has cream added to it. So we've got a little bit of both here with the mother sauces, but this is going to taste really good. And then you've got that dark, rich color coming from the mirepoix that we put in, and the chicken that was cooked in the butter as well. So we're going to set this on low now and let it thicken. We might need to add a little more half and half or some milk, but I wanted to start it out with some heavy cream. If you're doing this at home, after you see this, you can eyeball it and adjust it as you like. I'm going to turn it down and we're going to go cut the chicken up now. Alright, now here's the part with the chicken. You can either cut it diced, you can shred it, or you can make it chunks as big as you want. I'm just going to dice it up kind of like this so you can actually have a piece of it when you're eating. Add the chicken without dumping it all over the floor. And we can see that it is actually really, really thick. Almost a paste. But that's not a problem. We're not going to let that stop us. We have our wild rice, and we're going to dump that whole pan with the liquid in it. Mix that up. Now I can see that I'm going to add just a little bit more milk. Alright, we're going to let this sit, let the flavors marry, and we'll take some gorgeous pictures of it, and we'll be back. Thanks a lot for joining us today here on It's Only Food. We made a creamy chicken and wild rice soup. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we will see you next time right here on It's Only Food. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.